Hello, everyone. It's Brett coming at you from the Real Estate Role Playing Group, and I'm here to talk to you guys about what's going on in next week's role playing, which is week 44 out of 52 in the year 2022. So, a lot of crazy things are still going on. One of which that I'm working with agents on is keeping your mind right, keeping your focus right. We are going into November next month, and then we're going into the season that I call the holiday market. And if we eliminate the week from Christmas to New Year's, and we eliminate the week probably before Christmas, and then the week of Thanksgiving, because it's not exactly all that active. We've subtracted 3 weeks out. So when we start looking at how much time do we have in order to realize commission and close transactions this calendar year, then really you need to focus on your lead follow-up and your conversion, because of the fact that you're going to have about another week, maybe as much as 2 weeks, to get things under contract, into a pending status, into escrow, so that you can actually go through the closing cycle, the contract to closing cycle, and realize that in this calendar year. Now, the further you go into November, the more odds come against you on closing it by year end. There's a lot of headwind going into this, and I actually think that we're going to start seeing some really interesting things happen. But let's talk about what's going on in the role-playing group this week. So scripts, we're keeping the same schedule from last week. Monday is going to be the sphere of influence. Tuesday is around just listed. You could also do around just sold if you'd like. Wednesday, old expired listings. We are seeing expired listings creep up more and more in the various different markets. I can tell you that the reason why it did not sell is because they're overpriced for the market and the condition of the property in the neighborhood in which it is in. Sellers can no longer, at least in most markets, sellers can no longer price the property overpriced and expect it to sell like that with multiple offers. So be prepared with those objections. Get into the objection handling. Work with your partners on that. We got lead follow-up. Again, go really heavy on lead follow-up. If you don't have a large pipeline of lead follow-up, you need to go and get more sources of lead generation activities. Not just prospecting, not just telephone prospecting, not just door knocking. While those are effective, they're not that efficient, and they do take a lot of time. So what other sources of business what other sources or activities can you use to start generating more inbound leads to keep you in that lead follow-up and conversion mode? That's really what you need to focus on. So if you don't have a whole lot of lead follow-up, spend that time figuring out what you can put into your business to generate more leads. Don't just take the time off. And then last is for sale by owner, and we have an objection that we're going to be going over on this, but that's Monday through Friday schedule. Here are the objections. Monday, I want to find a house before I put mine on the market. That's realistic. Look, that happens in any type of market. Somebody wants to put their home, find a house, put their home on the market. However, one thing that they could do is that they could put their home on the market and sell it conditioned to them finding another house. So you've got to know what your talk track is. You've got to understand the scenario. You've got to understand the situation and talk to them about their motivation, because that may not work. Number one, you got to find out their motivation. As I often say, is you don't have a lead until you know somebody's why and their when. Why is their motivation? When is the gauge on how serious their motivation is? So Tuesday, I'm going to try and sell my home on my own first. This goes back into the for sale by owners over here on Friday. But then Tuesday, you're talking to someone, they want to try it on their own. Look, that's okay. Whatever. If they're a for sale by owner and they thought about that and they're going to do it, look, 7% of all home sales, maybe it's 8%, 7 or 8% of all home sales are actually for sale by owner. So they don't have a very good chance of selling it. In fact, if they do sell it, typically they're going to sell it to a friend, family, or neighbor, someone they know. And you know what they do? They leave 35% of their proceeds on the table, because studies have the recent polling shows that homes that are listed with a professional real estate agent sell for on average 35% more than a for sale by owner. Why? Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how much the home's worth. They don't know how to negotiate. And if you ever come to it, and most for sale by owners, 41% said the number one reason why they don't want to list with an agent is because of the commission. But yet they're going to leave 35% on the table. You know why? Because they don't know any better. It's up to you through conversations and through asking questions to make sure that they understand this. Because I'm pretty sure they'd rather pay a 6, 7, even 8% commission as opposed to leaving 35 points on the table. At least that's, and if you do come across someone who doesn't want to, they would rather just pay that 38%, buy the house. I'll sell my home when the value goes up. That's going to be Wednesday. Good question for that is just a realistic question. Look, I totally understand that you want to sell your home and net the most money possible. If you don't mind me asking, when do you anticipate home prices continuing to go up? We've hit the peak. They've been selling for the most money in the history of forever for the last 5 years. When do you, and now we're starting to see downward pressure, when do you think home values are going to go up? Well, I think they're going to go up next year. Really, that's interesting. If you don't mind me asking, how did you come up with that number? Okay, you're asking the questions. My guess is someone who's, are they a have to sell or they a want to sell? Again, going back to why and when. Thursday, how many homes have you sold? If you're newer to the business, you might be a little bit afraid of this, but it's not that big of a deal. If you're a veteran and a seasoned agent and you actually sell a good amount of homes, then share with them the number that you have sold. If you are newer, then tie in the credentials of your team, tie in the credentials of your office. If in fact your team or your office haven't sold many homes, then you might want to consider another affiliation because that's a big deal. If you're aligned with an office that's that does a lot of transactions in the area, you can simply say, look, me and my office, we've closed thousands of homes in your immediate area. We're very known for marketing the property and selling it for the most money in the quickest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. Is that what you're looking for? Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Terrific. Well, look, would it be possible for me to meet with you sometime this week so that I can show you my exclusive 25-point plan that will get you what you want and the time you want? Would you be open to that? Okay, it's just common. The process is the same, ladies and gentlemen. Friday, I'm not sure you're the right agent for us. Ouch. Look, I'm not sure if you're the right seller for me. Is there a time that we might be able to work this to meet sometime this week to see if maybe we could work together? Or you could say something along the lines like, look, I totally understand that. I am a little aggressive and my real focus is selling the home for the most money in the quickest amount of time, the least amount of hassle. If you don't mind me asking, what is it about me that you don't think is right for you? You ever notice how the things that I say are always regurgitated off of everything else I say? I always say 90% of the objections are going to be the same. So 90% of your responses are going to be a version of everything the same. So that's why we practice, because different scenarios, you have to adjust with it. Listing sequence, Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to pre-qualify the listing appointment. I would also encourage you to practice pre-qualifying the buyer or appointment. And then Thursday is a listing consultation and the buyer consultation. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have going on for next week, week number 44 of the year 2022. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay tuned. We are going to be launching the affiliate program soon. I also have a CRM system that's going to be available to all of you, no charge, that's going to have a dialer, text message, all kinds of cool stuff to it. So we're working on that. It's going to be coming to you. It's going to be coming to you this quarter, trying sooner than later, but there's a lot of moving parts to it. So I will see you guys next week. Keep it up. Make those conversations. Do your lead follow-up. Go on those appointments. Get those listings. Close those deals. Make that money. Talk to you later.